From a lake full of skeletons to blood-red water, here are some of the scariest lakes on Earth. Number 5. Pyramid Lake, Nevada. Pyramid Lake is one of the most famous lakes in the world, and it probably looks familiar because it is often used as a screensaver on Apple devices. Lake was supposedly once home to a family of mermaids. One of them fell in love with a local villager, but upon her introduction to the village as his future wife, the reaction was less than welcoming. She was banished to the lake and never returned. Heartbroken as she was, she cursed the lake with the guarantee that anyone who lived there would suffer, and by all accounts, that legend seems to have come true. Located about 40 miles away from Reno, it's an ancient place that was once part of a larger lake that covered most of northwestern Nevada. The name Pyramid Lake was given because of the various limestone formations that extend from the water's surface, resembling structures from a long-lost civilization. Humans have lived in the area for a long time, with the native Paiute tribe living on the shores until settlers began to take the land from them. The violence that ensued made this a dangerous place in the 1860s and only helped to further the legends of the place that had existed for centuries. The battles between the native tribes and settlers resulted in countless deaths, and the lake is renowned for a larger than usual number of fishermen fatalities. Plus, the mysterious disappearance of swimmers and scuba divers in the area who are never to be found again. It seems fitting that such a beautiful place is also potentially a dangerous one. Just be careful if you ever visit it, because the mermaid's curse seems to be in full effect up to this day. Number 4. Lake Tinn, Norway. The face of Lake Tinn in Norway is no different to any other. It's one of the largest and deepest lakes in Europe, situated between the municipalities of Tinn and Notodden in Telemark County. But this lake hides plenty of secrets because of its use during the Second World War by the Nazis' secret war effort. In fact, one of the most important and daring Allied operations of the war happened on this lake, and deep beneath its waters lie the deadly remains of what happened here. The story begins in Vemork, a hydroelectric power plant, just outside of the nearby city of Rjukan. Opened in 1911, it was originally intended to fix nitrogen for the production of fertilizer, but during the war, the Nazis had other ideas. They converted the site into a production facility for heavy water, the first site in the world dedicated to its mass production. Heavy water, also known as deuterium oxide, was one of the crucial ingredients to early nuclear energy research, and the Nazis were producing huge amounts of it to allow them to develop their own nuclear weapons. This would have turned the tide of the war in their favor. The Allies tried to destroy the plant repeatedly, but their efforts proved unsuccessful. In the last-ditch attempt, they planted a time bomb on a ferry hydro, which was carrying barrels of heavy water across Lake Tinn to be transported on to Germany. On February 20, 1944, the bomb detonated as the ferry was above the deepest part of the lake. And the Nazis' whole supply of heavy water was lost, along with any hope they had of developing nuclear weapons. While the mission was declared a success, no one knew for sure that heavy water was actually on board the ferry. In 2005, a remotely operated vehicle was sent to the depths of the lake, over 1,300 feet below, to search for the wreckage. For had these reached their destination, things might have ended differently. Today, Hitler's sunken secret is a well-known story in the area, but with the potential for heavy water to be leaking from the remaining sunken barrels into the lake, and many other wartime secrets sure to be lost there too, it's definitely a lake with a colorful past. Number 3. Rupkund, India. Rupkund in India might actually be the creepiest lake in the world. It was discovered in 1942 by a British forest guard who made a troubling discovery. This lake, 16,000 feet above sea level and at the base of a small valley, was completely frozen. The ice, though, was completely full of human skeletons. As summer approached, the ice began melting and revealed even more skeletons, simply floating around in the water. The immediate assumption was that these were the remains of Japanese soldiers that had tried to sneak across the mountains. But they soon realized that these skeletons were far older than that. In fact, it turned out that the estimated 200 bodies is about 1,200 years old. Further investigation revealed that they were from two distinct groups, one that was related and the other that seemed to be shorter, perhaps local guides. What was unusual was that they had all died in a similar way, blows to the head from round-shaped objects. It soon became clear that they had all died as a result of a sudden and severe hailstorm. With nowhere to hide from the 9-inch circumference stone, everyone was soon killed by the thousands that rained down upon them. Skeleton Lake, as it is now known, still contains many of the bodies and give chills down the spine of anyone who managed to trek the 4 hours path to see the lake. Number 2. Laguna Colorada, Chile. While Laguna Colorada is arguably one of the most stunning places you can visit in the world, you can't help but compare its deep burgundy color to the color of blood. Located in southwest Bolivia, on the border with Chile, this blood-red lake is caused by red sediments and pigmentation of some algae in the water. It's all covered in natural formations of salts that are used to make washing detergents and home to the huge number of Andean flamingos, the rarest species of flamingo in the world. There are 6 flamingo species in the world, and 3 of them can be seen here, the Chilean, Andean and the James's flamingo. It is also said that it may have inspired Salvador Dali himself, as it is also known as Dali Valley. Number 1. Pitch Lake, Trinidad. When you think of Trinidad, you probably think of a beautiful Caribbean island, which is true. But there is a lake near the village of La Brea that couldn't be further from the truth. It is the largest pitch lake in the world, meaning that it is made from liquid asphalt. It is about 100 acres in size and 76 meters deep at its deepest spot. It was formed thousands of years ago when tectonic activity caused oil to rise through cracks to the surface. Over time, the lighter elements from the oil have evaporated and leave the mix of oil, clay, and water. The tar from here was used to pave places like New York City and London and has been exported to over 50 countries worldwide. Despite the huge benefits for the country, Pitch Lake is an extremely dangerous place with many people lost their lives due to the fumes and from sinking into the asphalt. It also reveals secrets of times gone by with remains of prehistoric creatures often emerging like giant sloth and a mastodon tooth. It's hardly an enticing tourist destination, but if you want to visit there, make sure you are well prepared. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.